Hello, let me give you a bit of an introduction to the Great North Walk. This is a lovely spot and I thought I'd introduce you to it. This is the view looking north. Just had my lunch here. There's hardly any sound other than the distant clattering of a house being built, I think. And here a tree that's obviously been scorched by the fire, but its leaves are still coming, so it is not dead. Hello, Jim 12's here, and this time I'm just off the Great North Walk, and it's north east, slightly northeast of Cherrybrook, in the suburbs of Sydney. And today is Monday, and I'm sure of it this time, Monday the 16th of May 2022, and I'm here on an incredibly beautiful day. We've had a lot of rain at the end of last week, so the ground is pretty wet. But the first thing I did when I arrived here late morning was I just sat and I tried to listen. So today's episode, this is episode number 7, and it is called A Meditation in the Bush. A meditation in the bush. So I just want to mention what I heard in the silence, as it were. I heard kookaburras, the typical Aussie bird, carnivorous bird that laughs, and there were obviously a few of them. They were having a really lovely time, having a good laugh. Earlier on, as I was walking up the valley, I heard cockatoos screeching very high in the air, but boy did they fill the valley with sound. I heard, and this is hardly any wind today, I heard the trees cracking. I don't mean falling over, I mean just gently cracking, and I wonder whether it might be to do with them drying out when the sun gets on the bark, and the trees will be pretty wet, so they're in the process of drying out. And then I heard a very, very faint, distant dog barking, not for very long. And then down to my left, I've got a fly now, down to my left I heard the Berowra Creek. I think there was a dog then, but I guess you wouldn't have got it on the mic. Yeah, the creek is just gurgling. It's very low down below me, probably the height of 2 trees deep, so I'm quite high up here. Occasionally there was the sound of a building project, and that was just occasionally a small sound of a motorized saw, perhaps. I'm not sure. Then there's a soft, almost a beat of the crickets. They seem to have stopped now, but earlier on I could hear them. They were just, no, they're still there. They're just giving the background to this spot. Then there was a little trill of a bird in the distance. I can hear him just now. And also now, and this is only the third time today, the distant noise of an aeroplane, certainly not overhead, but it's quiet enough to hear it. And then there was a rushing of wind in the trees, and it only lasted 20 seconds, but all the trees made a rustling at the top of the trees. And then there was another hiker who actually stopped in the spot where I am now. I think he might have had his lunch. He didn't see me. I think he might have been praying in tongues. I think he might have been. And then there was another hiker, a second one, who passed and said hello to him and carried on the path. I'm probably 10 metres from the main Great North Walk. So I'll just give you a bit of a taste of the silence. You probably can't hear it, but just imagine. I've been here since 11:30, so I've been here an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So I've seen two people, not spoken to them. They haven't seen me. And it's so still. There isn't a cloud in the sky. There's a distant noise of a jet flying somewhere which I can't see. I can still hear the brook gurgling down below. It really is a very special spot, and I am so grateful I've found it. I've come out of the busyness of life, where things have to be done. People have to go here and catch buses and catch trains. But here, I just can be, and I can relax. You know, another thing I was going to share in this video, it took me back to probably my teens, maybe younger, and my parents used to take me and my brothers onto the moors. We lived in the north of England, so a very different landscape to this one. The thing that reminded me of my youth was that the path was so saturated, and at times I couldn't avoid just walking through water, brown stained water, the same sort of water that there would have been on the moors in the north of England. And there it rains all the time. A slight exaggeration, but it really was usually wet, and sometimes the rain is horizontal and sometimes comes upwards, whereas that is the complete opposite of here today. It is such a blessing to be here in nature, sitting on a rock, being grateful for the peace of this spot. So I just encourage you, if you can, find a space in your life to get out into nature. The therapy, I think, is just speechless. It is just I can't tell you why I know it's good for me, but I know it's good for me. Anyway, try and get out whenever you get an opportunity. And it is so good for the soul. Bye for now.